Hello traders and welcome to Technical Trader. I'm looking to trade two stocks this week, Intel and Telado Health. This video is for educational purposes only. Before we begin, I want to show you how we did in October, how my trades played out. If you want to skip this part and look at the technical analysis for Intel and Telado, go ahead. If not, let's see how it did. So, in October, I provided technical analysis for 10 stocks. 4 of them reached the first take profit zone. Only one reached the second. The other 4 are still open, still in the positive. So we can still reach the second take profit and potentially reach the third take profit. The highlight of this all is Mag Silver Corp, which we executed the order at $15.90, which is exactly over here after the price bounced off the lower trend line of this bullish channel. My two take profit zones were within the channel, and my third small position, 25% of my entire position, is still open, and I'm holding it. Probably I will either close it sometime within this week, either in this zone of 20, or potentially wait to see if the price can reach 20 to 50. We'll see how this plays out. The other 4 stocks that were successful was Apple. We had entered at 143. Take profit was 147. Let's see how that played out. So the position is still open. Our take profit is 155. The stock is moving higher, so the price currently stands at 152, so we're really close to reaching the second take profit position. The third take profit is open, which means we can still hold this stock for 170, 200 maybe. Doesn't matter if we break this 157, 58 zone, we can potentially see 200. So a small position could still remain open and to increase the overall gain. We also have NEO. We entered at 35.50. We reached the first take profit, which was 41.20. So this is exactly where our first take profit was. We entered at 35.50, meaning we entered somewhere around this zone, and we entered at this breakout over here. Took at 41.20 our first take profit position. Next is 45 over here, and the final take profit, third zone, is 55. Of course, despite this short-term technical analysis, I see a lot of potential for NEO. I can see it going back to 69 to 65, where it was at the beginning of 2021 in January. I can see this stock going to 100 to 80 to 100 sometimes, either in 2022 or 2023. So this is still, even at 40, it's a still good long-term position zone, even if we're not just looking at this small trade. So this is also a good stock. Actually, all of the stocks I've been picking are have high potential in the long term. You can still keep small portion of the position even after these take profit zones are entered. Basically, the take profit is to lock in some profits and just to make sure you earn something and not wait for the stock to pull back and then go up again and then just waiting for hours for the stock to move again higher. So this goal is just to continuously have some profit to open new positions to trade new stocks. Another also stock that entered nicely in the take profit zone was Alibaba, where we entered at 166. Well, we entered at 166, where the price is slightly at the same zone. Our first take profit was 175, which is this here after 7 trading days. Our next zone is 191 and 211. So that's what I'm hoping to see in the coming weeks and maybe months. And the third is Skyworks Solutions, where we entered at 159 with the first take profit zone at 167. So 159. Just give me a moment to find the stock. So yeah, this brought us around 5% gain, but we're still in some position. We're still entered in some position. So not all of it is closed. We'll likely close this 25% of the position at 174. If we reach that zone, that's really close to where we stand now. And the third is 180. So the third take profit is over here. This is another stock where I see potential for moving higher, even testing this 200 price. So we'll see if you manage to take the first and the second take profit. You can potentially move your stop loss somewhere around here at 160, and then wait to see if the price breaks this trend line. If it breaks, you can easily go 200, and you can just keep the stock for as long as you want. Two stocks didn't execute at all. These were Heisen Motors and Seagate. Our price buy limits didn't reach, so 2 stocks out of 10 didn't execute. 2 stocks are still open. These are Skills and Range Resources. They haven't been stopped out yet or reached the take profit zone, so we'll see how this play out in the coming week or two. And only 2 were stopped. Those were Western Union and Meritor. Let's just see how they did quickly. So we had Meritor at 25.50 and 25 entered. The first entry point was here. The second was once it came pulled back. The price eventually moved to 26, but it didn't reach our first take profit zone, which was 27.50. That was this zone over here. I was really conservative with the stop loss in this one, so it was 24. It stopped it out quickly. The logical stop loss should have been under 20, but I didn't want to wait that long with this stock, and so it was stopped out. The second stock which was stopped out was Western Union. This gave a fake breakout. It seemed as if the stock will move higher at this zone where we made 3 bullish candlesticks. The price seemed as if it will continue higher to 23. Unfortunately, the very next day we saw this red candle negate all of this, these three bullish candles, and then it just break lower and lower. So luckily we were stopped out at 1950, which was somewhere around here, and we just saved ourselves from further losses. Although I do see this as a good stock for holding it long term. It has 4% dividend, which is not bad at all. The price currently stands at this support zone of 1830. It may pull back, but the momentum is strong for the downside, so we'll see how this plays out. Maybe if we see another interesting pattern, we could probably jump back in and cover the losses over here. So overall, at the moment we are 31% in the green just in October. This can change. It can go higher if some of this take profit 2 zones and 3 zones are reached. It can be lower if both skills and range resources are stopped out, but this, as I said, can be recovered quickly with having stopped out at the second take profit or even the third take profit. So 30% is a decent gain for 1 month. The goal is to have 100% in 12 months. So as much as we can each month, that's a good thing, because maybe some month it will be in the red. So the more the better. So let's see how Intel and Telado are probably going to play out. We're choosing the high probability outcomes, so we'll see. Intel is the world's largest chip maker. Aside from producing CPUs for personal computers and servers, Intel has entered the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and automotive industries. What's from the fundamental side, what's going to help the stock is the release of the 12th gen PC processors, which is going to happen this week on November 4th. According to leaked benchmarks, these new CPUs are beasts and they beat competitor Ryzen processors. Intel is also planning to launch its GPU sometime in the first quarter of 2022. Considering GPUs are hard to get and demand outweighs supply at this moment, this can be a decent long-term play at this current price level. So even if you don't want to play this as a short-term trade, you can consider this a long-term good entry point and keep this stock for at least getting back to 65 or even higher, depending on how the new processors will play out, not just 12th gen but 13th gen, how the GPUs will play out, because Intel got cocky at one point, just remained on their 4th nanometer processors while AMD was innovating. So now Intel is trying to get back on track. Also, Intel director Dion Weisler, I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, recently bought shares of the company, which is often a good sign when high-ranking company employees buy the stock they believe in what's going to happen. So this is another good sign. This is slightly on the fundamental side. We want to look in finances because Intel is doing good. So now let's see on the technical side. So we have the daily chart. The stock formed a morning star pattern. This is the 3 stocks over here: the red candle, the small doji candle, and the white bullish candle. This is called the morning star pattern. This is like the star in the morning and the sun rises. So potentially we will see the stock move higher. Also, we see the 4-hour chart. It shows a potential of moving higher, but it touched the exponential moving average here at this zone at 49.32. The MACD is trying to close, which means the stock price could move higher and then pull back again to make a divergence, but we'll see. I just want to show you something else. Intel is prone typically when there are gaps, or the price gaps like this, like the gap we have over here. Most of the times it recovered the gaps before going. You can see the price dropped, the price recovered over here. We have another gap. Just let me close this for a better look. We had another gap here and another gap here and another gap, and the price just fill out these gaps eventually. We had a massive gap over here from, what is this, 58 to 50. The price fill out almost $4 from 50 to 58. Fill out half the gap. We had another gap over here. The stock price pulled back and fill out the gap. So this happened a lot. This is the only time that failed to fill out the gap, but I'm confident that eventually, because as I said, there are also fundamental factors that could push the stock price higher. So maybe we'll see this gap filled out quickly. The only thing that bothers me about this stock is the monthly outlook, which we have this bearish divergence in the MACD, meaning the price made higher highs while the MACD made lower highs. And 2 MACD divergences are a strong signal, but 3 are even stronger. So we had that over here. The price dropped from 67.66 to 50. So basically we've seen this drop already. Maybe this will stop because the price has already touched the simple moving average 50. This is the blue line over here. This usually is a strong support and resistance zone. We see that the price again bounced over here. The monthly is a heavy red candle, so this isn't a good sign long term. But daily, as I said, made this interesting morning star pattern. So this is how I would trade it. I would set the buy stop limit at 49.60, meaning if the price keeps going lower in the coming sessions, my trade won't be executed and I will wait for another maybe better entry point. If the price does go higher and reaches my point, I will enter. My stop loss in this case would be, I'll just use red color for better visuals. My stop loss would be 46.80. So this is under these candles. This is likely to be reached if the price especially doesn't go higher. My first take profit zone would be 53. So this is this heavy resistance zone now. Needs to be strong support zone where the price didn't break lower. Now it's a resistance zone. So 53 would be my first take profit. My second take profit target would be 55. Basically this box where the price kept bouncing off within actually. And my third target is 65. Of course, if we see the first and the second price targets getting reached, we can easily see a break of 65, especially, as I said, if the new gen processors prove to be indeed innovative enough. They beat AMD, Ryzen, and if the GPUs are also good, this would be a really good boost for the company, and we could finally see the price break 65, because we've seen the price fail to break this zone twice in 2020 and 2021. Next stock I'm keeping an eye on for this week is Telado Health, or TDOC ticker symbol. Telado Health is a virtual health provider with a telehealth platform that delivers 24 hours on-demand healthcare via mobile devices, internet, video, and phone. But we're interested here in the technical analysis side of things, so let's first see how the weekly and the monthly chart show us. We see the monthly chart has this excellent and beautiful bullish engulfing pattern. This is this white candle and the red candle, where the white candle is larger than the red candle. This happens between the 50 moving average and this simple moving averages. So this is a good box where we can easily see a reversal here. The only thing that bothers me is this MACD. It's too wide open, meaning the price can bounce back out of some of these zones and pull back before going higher again. But this is monthly, meaning this can happen during the entire 2022. That's not something that I'm interested in the moment. I'm trying to close this position within the month. So let's see the weekly, what the weekly says. Weekly also has decent bullish patterns over here. It stopped at 121. The MACD is diverging here. The MACD has made lower lows in the price. The price has made lower lows, but MACD had made higher lows, so this is a good reversal. And we see this huge white candle here standing at 150. So the next price zone should be somewhere in the 170. So let's see the daily chart. We also have sorry, before that I want to show you the 4-hour chart. So we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern. This is one shoulder, this is the head, this can be another shoulder, and this is the neckline where we see the break over here. This was a huge break and it confirmed the pattern. So what do I see over here? If the price continues going higher, which it seems according to all of this as I showed earlier, I would play it like this. Entry point 147 market order, or 147 149. Actually this price zone is something I'm looking to trade. The potential of adding another amount if the price retreats to 143. So basically I'm looking at this zone to enter. My stop loss here would be 128, which is below this white candle. 128 is the stop loss. My first take profit is 165. So this is here. I'm trying to reach this peak. My second target is 177. This is this price zone. and third target is 200. Of course, if we see the price go higher and break the 200 price zone, it can easily go back to 250, 300, but this is in the long term. And as I said, I'm not interested that long. If I do take some of this profits, if the price goes higher, I may keep some of my position for the long term, but it all depends on what's going to happen now, in the future, and this week and the next week. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Starting next month, I'll be sharing changes to my position, like updated stop loss or entry points in new stocks, either via video or community posts. So if you want to see this, if you want to get the notification, make sure to subscribe. Good luck. See you in the next video.